Welcome back to 4G1G. This is part 2 of us talking about season 1 of the Apothecary Diaries. We spent part 1 mainly talking about our overall perception about the series, and now we're really getting into the nitty-gritty. Let's go.
Anyway, so you were talking about that
scene. The scene. You see the different fonts?
Well,
or
yeah.
The different...
I can see it.
Okay.
Kinda.
All right, that's if there's an animatic for this, you should type it in different fonts.
Yeah, it should.
Scene,
Different fonts and different
scene.
emboldened. Anyway, so this scene, like so much is uncovered. You know, so many of our questions are answered. So we know Gaoshun does indeed have
A family.
like a whole family. How many kids? 4?
I think he had like 4 or 5 kids.
I think he may say 5.
It's Boston, right?
Boston is his youngest.
Boston is his youngest, who's 19,
And a
his oldest. And his oldest had just had his first kid, so he's a grandfather now.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, he's a grandfather? How old is this guy?
He looks great.
He doesn't look
And
that old.
honestly, it makes sense why Boston is so protective of Jinshi because they're basically twins.
They're basically brothers.
They're basically brothers.
So if Boston is 19 and Jinshi is how old?
Isn't he all same
Oh, he's
age?
also 19.
Also
They're
19?
both 19, so they grew up together. You know, and that's pretty cool.
That is
Yeah.
pretty cool, yeah.
I like that
So
a lot.
that explains why he doesn't
Also,
like Maomao very much.
Yeah. So, so we learned of that. We learned of how Jinshi and Gaoshun are not eunuchs at all. They actually take the drugs. And what else do we learn? How much Jinshi actually cares about Maomao?
Yeah, it was very well done. As far as dialogue scenes and animes go, you got to make sure there's like still a flow going on when you're translating for the languages. But the fact that they was able to like reveal that much, but it was just completely natural because they were just having a normal conversation. Is very like when the scene was over, it was like, man, we just learned a lot about them.
The flow was flowing. That's for sure.
Yeah, it was flowing.
Yeah,
It was so good.
and I really like how it was done in a very sort of subtle way as well. You know, like you know exactly what all the revelations and stuff were of, and of course, Gaoshun and Jinshi talking to each other in a sort of relaxed, in a non-professional setting is also really good. It was also great to see. It makes the whole father-son thing even more apparent.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
And I think the one interesting thing about the scene is how there are a lot of ways that kind of exposition could go wrong.
So
and
many
just
ways.
So many.
Oh,
We just
yeah.
saw
Yeah.
that on Wednesday.
Yeah, we did. And just
As you know.
where it can end up being like info dumping scenes with a couple of characters who already know the information. They're talking about this, so that way the audience can know about it. Whereas with this one, like you guys said, it felt completely natural. Like the two of them were just having a regular conversation about the events that have transpired and just recounting those memories. So I thought it was really good, and just contrasting it with what we saw on Wednesday. Yeah, that's kind of at the forefront in our minds right now.
Bianca's mom was in a cult. If you know, you know.
Who's Bianca again?
Her name's Bianca, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Seriously, who the heck is Bianca?
I think the siren. girl.
Siren.
The one who used
She's cool.
The one who used the voice.
Yeah, she's very regal, very
Oh,
elegant.
yeah, okay.
She's
Yeah.
one of my favorites.
Yeah, she looks really
honestly.
cool.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, I was going to also quickly say that one other thing that I thought was funny was how they're keeping up the whole thing of Gaoshun being Jinshi's dad. By when he had to take his stuff, he's like, "Oh, it's have to do. It tastes so bad though." And he's like, "Oh, so horrible."
Yeah. And you remember that one part when Maomao was kind of cold? Remember? And Gaoshun gave her a blanket.
Oh yeah.
And then Maomao.
No, yeah, something like that.
And then I think Mama had another internal thought of like, so considerate. He'd make a great husband. They're like, thank you, with Master Gaoshun. And then Jinshi was glaring from the corner. It was like, oh, it was Master Jinshi's idea.
He was growling too.
Yeah, it's Master Jinshi's idea. Don't worry about it. It has nothing to do with me. I was just delivering the message. And she was like, oh.
Never
Yeah,
mind.
it's cute how, I don't know, she might have a little itsy bitsy bit of a crush on Gaoshun.
Well, Gaoshun's great, so.
Yeah, it reminds me of Katniss and Cinna, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is like that.
It's adorable.
And again, the fact that she just doesn't care about Jinshi, and
She
most of the
doesn't
thoughts,
care.
and most of the thoughts that she has of him are like, as a puffed up pretty boy, he probably get whatever he wants.
But she doesn't care until she does.
Yeah, until she does.
She doesn't care until she was doing the whole thing with getting him out in public, and she's just sort of like, I mean,
Oh.
giving him makeup. So idea.
I forgot about that. That was so really good.
That was fun.
She's like, are you going? What was it? She said at one point with the how good are you with when he asked how good are you with makeup, and then the first thing Maomao said was, "Are you going to topple a nation?"
And she says something, you're not going to topple a nation, are you?
Without any context whatsoever,
That was
because
great.
she was doing her whole thing of trying to analyze what he was saying. So, and she thought that she was thinking, is this like some Anna Liebert crap, or
He was beautiful.
Well, he put a lipstick on her because when he didn't know, so
Like she
put lipstick on him. So when he had no idea what was going on because wanted to try it out.
I don't know how he didn't know what was going on.
So
Like
theoretically,
maybe he was focusing on how Maomao was so close to him.
Yeah, I think he just said here to put makeup on me, and she was like, all right, and then he didn't care what the heck she did next because he had no idea what was happening.
He trusts her.
Yeah.
So she concluded
that was his first mistake.
So she concluded that he could indeed pull a Helen of Troy.
Wow, you pull Helen of Troy, and you're a dude.
What?
No, that's not. Don't worry about
Impressive.
Yeah, put this cotton in your mouth. Yeah, that was a fun. That was a fun episode.
Yeah.
Dressing up is fun in these shows.
Oh, and on that topic, I know one thing that we kept bringing up a lot that you really liked was like the number of occasions where Maomao gets to dress up all fancy for the poison tasting and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I love it. It's great. I love when characters get to dress
Zip
up.
is the number one lover of those things.
Yeah, to the extent that everyone was a little disappointed, like after the first half of season 1 was over, and the opening for the first half showed Maomao in like a menagerie of. I hope that's how you use that word correctly. I really like
Menagerie means like a zoo, but in this case,
a bunch
She was in a zoo of
An array.
beautiful-
An array.
An array, yes, yeah, I like that. Plethora of
Yeah,
fancy,
plethora.
of like fancy robes and dresses and that sort of thing. And she, to which everyone was sort of like, oh wow, this is great. Hopefully we'll see you wearing a lot of those. And because of the way the plot was, that didn't end up happening. And I think, like I said, I really love how everyone was sort of thinking. I mean, that first half was really good, but. I mean, I would have liked her to see wear dress number 3 in the opening. But
Yeah.
it's okay.
And then in the end of the season 1, she was ended up wearing this beautiful dress and doing a very well animated dance.
That was great.
It was amazing.
Her climbing up the wall like Spider-Man.
And thinking that nobody would
little
notice.
spider monkey.
Yeah, exactly. Spider-Man. Yeah.
And of course, the whole thing with how we're going to talk about this later, but I just want to say that the thing with how Jinshi had to go up to check on her to see what's going on. He's like, "Oh, looks like my leg wound opened again. Well, I'm just gonna go climb down now." And then she was like, and then he's like, "Oh no, you're not!" Then he grabbed her and then did a ninja jump down the wall.
Yeah, she screamed. That was great. And it was like it took her a bit to realize what the heck he's doing. Remember?
Yeah.
The voice acting is so good in that show.
It is so
like
freaking good.
masterfully crafted.
Yeah, I listened to a bit of the original Japanese in a few days ago actually, and the voice actress for Maomao sounds exactly like she does in the original Japanese. It is so impressive.
It's like Sue.
That always blows
Yeah,
my mind whenever that sort of thing. Like when the Japanese voice actors are doing a very, very specific voice, and then the English voice actor is able to do that basically the exact same voice flawlessly. I'm just like, how do you do that?
It's in a completely different language.
Yeah, exactly. So do you like say the lines in Japanese with that voice, and then you just sort of transfer like the register of what your throat is doing and whatnot over to English, if that's how it works? I don't even know. It's very impressive. It's some pro level stuff.
Yeah. And was there anything else you wanted to talk about with the voice actress? Mimak was geeking out about it.
It's really good.
Yeah, but well spoken.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. Okay, so next character. I think we already talked about Gaoshun quite a bit, so I think we're good with that.
Yeah.
Hey, wait, how old is Gaoshun?
Wait a minute.
Place your bets,
Okay,
people.
how old do you think he is?
Okay,
Mid
Maybe-
40s.
I'm going to say
50.
Early 50s.
early to mid
He has 5 kids.
Mid to late 50s.
mid
Well,
50 mid to late 50s, early 60s.
People also marry pretty young back then.
That's true.
Because there
He
was
could
a,
be in
like
his 40s, I guess.
Because they would
Point.
probably like die from some awful disease at some. That's the reason why, as to why they do that. Even like something like not China, I'm assuming.
Maybe late 40s. Mid to late 40s. That's my guess.
Yeah,
too.
okay.
Mid 40s.
Gaoshun age.
So we're all saying the same thing, I guess.
Yeah, but
Well, this isn't very fun.
Okay.
no, he's in there.
I'm looking.
Hey, if we're right, then we're all right. And then if we're not,
No, I refuse to believe that. I refuse
Wait,
to.
he's 35, isn't he?
It's-
is he?
how can
it
he be
says-
35 and have 5 kids?
I don't know. Max says he refused to believe
it
it.
is.
Okay, it says
38.
here. Wait a second. Is this for someone
just-
else? Maybe. Well,
just-
am I getting confused?
You say
But-
Apothecary
Let me see.
Diaries?
Just what does it say?
Okay, it says here that when
What,
his
does it say he's
debut
22?
is 36.
Oh.
So
36.
yeah, I know what you're thinking.
he could have,
yeah.
guys, he could have gotten married when he was like 13.
Wait, you say wait?
Nope. That's it's because it's correct. It says
What the heck?
elder youngest son Basin.
Check the wiki. Check the
Wait,
wiki.
I'm on the wiki. I'm on the
Wait,
wiki.
Gaoshun is 36.
I don't how.
Jeez, how do you have 5 kids when you're 36?
You had to get married when
He's
you're
like-
like
he has
14 or
he's
something.
3 grandchildren.
He's a grandfather and he's 36.
Wow.
He hasn't even reached the point in which people would start to have a midlife crisis yet.
That's usually when people start having children. 36.
Normal people these days start having children at 36.
That's wild.
How old was he when he got married? Like 15?
I guess 13.
I guess that is how that works though. How that
That's
works then.
crazy.
Yeah.
And we all said mid 40s. Nope.
No, not even close.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
you said I refuse to believe it, I said 35.
Well, he doesn't look
so
36.
technically I win.
Yeah, you
Hey, you
did.
changed your vote at the last minute.
Yeah,
What
but
was your first
whatever.
guess?
my first
Okay.
guess was like mid 40s and then I changed it.
Okay,
Well,
so
you still would have been really
so
close.
that's the case. He had Boston when he was like 17. 16 or 17.
Wait a second. So if he got married at allegedly 13, and
And-
Boston is his youngest,
Yeah.
I was joking. It was a joke.
it was a joke.
It was a joke, young master.
This is how this ancient world crap works. 'Cause I was watching the oversimplified video from the YouTube channel Oversimplified, the history one, about Henry VIII. That one was going over the stuff from his childhood and how he had to marry his brother's widow when he was like 10. So
Oh,
yeah.
so it looks like they got married when he was 16.
All right, 16.
okay. So
Okay, wait. So Boston's his youngest at 19, though.
this isn't even
How
gonna
does
do
that
math.
even work?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But how many kids? How many kids does he have?
Wait, let me see. Let me just saying.
Yeah,
I'm so confused.
I still don't know how.
So 5. Maybe there's twins?
Maybe.
Wait, no. Ha! So he's including the in-laws.
Okay. Thank goodness.
1, 2. So he has 3 kids, and he was just including the in-laws. Okay. Okay, cool.
That makes
geez,
that,
I was
that
gonna
makes
just,
like
like, wonder
that makes a lot more sense.
That makes sense. I was gonna be like, but I mean, how? It's just.
It looks like most of them work for Jinshi.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Hmm.
It's a high paying position after all, and they must have known him for a while, so it's the best position.
I mean, Gaoshun, like we said before, he practically raised that boy. So
Yeah. Okay, so another character that
glad we got that out of the way.
Me too.
Another character that we'll talk about is Lakan.
I remember the
Lakan, he's interesting.
Yeah, the main thing you kept bringing up over and over again is how when you were assuming that he was Mao's father, which, you're correct. You kept saying, yeah, I mean, it would make sense. I mean, he's weird like her, for one thing, and he's weird and schemy, and they have very similar looking eyes in terms of, like, the eye color, and, it would make sense, especially, like, after the death glare thing, which was...
That was
which was, like, terrifying, yeah.
Like I watched that clip on YouTube. Still terrifying, especially the way it's edited. I think it's like it's something like when you let Hideki Anno direct an episode.
yeah, but no, dang right it is.
Yeah, like Lakan was so creepy in the beginning.
Yeah.
This creepy old man.
I mean, everyone just kept saying like, he's so creepy.
Yeah, it's like what is up with that guy?
Yeah, and after the death glare, you showed us the one in the manga too, and
Right.
everyone was just wondering where. It's just
We'll
sorry.
show it here.
Where she looked more shooken in the manga, right?
Yeah, and
Disgusting.
Yeah, that's
even.
right.
Yeah.
Well, I think she just looked scared out of her mind in the manga, and then in the anime, it was more like really, really cold and
like emotions
Not a-
off.
yeah. Well,
It looked kind of remind me of, speaking of Hideki Anno,
all the
like,
guards were up.
One thing in Evangelion, like the face that Shinji had right before he was gonna face down. What's it called? Which one? The tapeworm angel? Like he sort of had a totally blank face.
What, just locked in?
Yeah, the Shinji locked in Akari mode. Looked a little bit like Gendo. Actually, that's the closest thing I could think of to Mao's death glare. Whereas in the manga, I think when you first showed us, it looked a lot more like an expression that, if to be honest, you never want to see on anyone's face, because it looked like she was going to throw up just from hearing that guy's name. So everyone was wondering, how bad is this guy?
Yeah, and now that we have context, I think the reason why she looked like that is because since she's been taking care of her mother for so long, how did you say her name? Fengxian? She's been taking care of her mother for so long, who lost her freaking mind, and the fact that obviously she knows who Lakan is because the other told her about it. Which is something I really like. How it's clear that the other ladies in the brothel, they told her basically everything that they knew about Lakan and how that whole situation went. And so the idea that the guy who did that too, intentionally or not, she'll probably think it's intentional though, since she doesn't have the full story, is looking for her and is around this place where she thought that she had things figured out and was safe. Either way, it's just something that she doesn't want. That she's just that she doesn't want. So in the anime, she has this terrifying, cold expression because she's remembering all the stuff with her mom. And then in the manga, it feels like she's thinking about that as well.
But it's showing on her face.
Yeah, like different. It's interesting. It's the same emotions, but different reactions on how it's done, on how based on how she looks with it. And I will say that with how the anime did it, just cutting out all the sound with that horrifying black background for 2 frames.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
freaky.
the lighting
as heck.
is the scariest part, honestly, because it does the sort of obviously there's the black background, and also the lighting is white. There's a bluish light on one side and a yellow on the other, so it doesn't look cohesive at all. It looks like her face is sort of split in 2 halves, and this uncanny and her super uncanny. There's a corpses talking. Glare doesn't necessarily help.
Yeah, I still can't look at it without getting a chill down my spine, honestly.
Yeah, I know, right?
And I think it especially helps because we've seen Maomao, we've seen her character all sorts of things. We've seen her serious, we've seen her all business. We've seen her all business. We've seen her around drugs. We've seen how she deals with
the chemistry.
Yeah, we've seen how she does her more direct negotiating, all that stuff. But we've never seen that side of her.
Oh, and immediately after, I just remembered, is the point with when she's walking away and then she sees another grassy hill full of a whole bunch of chemical, a whole bunch of what's the word for drugs? Pathological? That's pharmaceutical wonders on the on that hill, and she goes into cat mode, and she's like, "Oh, I must collect these. So I think everyone simultaneously breathes a sigh of relief, well, at least she's back to normal for the moment.
Yeah.
Until the Ice Queen showed up, whose name I don't remember.
Suirei.
Yeah, Suirei.
That was scary lady.
Suirei, yeah, who did her whole, Amy Dunn fakes her own death thing, which was just nuts.
Yeah, that was really cool. I think you even said, I think we've got a foil character.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you say Suirei's personality type was, mister?
I didn't. Oh.
We'll probably learn a bit more about her in season 2. If Lakan isn't going to be a problem in season 2, which I don't know because of how, thankfully, all of the awful stuff that happened to him before Maomao was born was somewhat resolved since he's able to meet with his wife. I know they're not officially married, but she's basically his wife. So hopefully that's been resolved, and he will be able to forestall his revenge arc thing against Jinshi for a good 6 or 8 months, like so he can like reconnect, so that they can reconnect. That lady's gonna be a problem though. She poisoned the guy with salt. So
yeah, it was with salt.
Yeah.
Huh? But yeah, the scary lady. So I'm still debating.
With assault.
Yeah,
that's terrible.
With that one interesting thing with the whole build-up on, as far as the whole with what almost happened to Jinshi with the purification ritual.
Yeah.
So I'm still trying to figure out whether or not that was like a whole plot made by Lakan, or whether or not he did that, or whether or not there's an outside factor, because we know that he was setting things up, asking about the things with the will and all that.
Yeah, but why would he do that? Because he wants to get Maomao because his daughter and that sort of thing. We didn't know why initially, because we were so creeped out, because we were so put off by him because of how creepy he is. But why would he want to do that? So was in that case was it the other lady? I can't. We just heard her name. What was
Suirei.
Suirei. Yeah. Maybe she did that. I mean, she poisoned the guy with salt, faked her own death, went into a coffin and everything, and had her folks get her out of said coffin, pulled a Mulan, and then left. She just walked right out the front door.
Yeah, I know. That's like I said. That lady's terrifying.
Yeah, because that's crazy. That's some crazy crap. It's kind of awesome though.
Yeah, and there's also the thing where he was clearly having her. Where he was clearly like had Maomao take a look at that will about with the guy, and then you remember with the guy with 3 sons.
Oh yes.
Very nice episode, by the way, and how he was basically having her look through the world to be able to have that guy put in his place, so he would be able to be the new metal worker, and he was the one who made that new metal work, but it was intentionally made defective because of instructions that were given to. Instructions that were given to him by Suirei, but then he ended up getting lead poisoning, and it's a very complicated plan just to kill one guy.
How? That's so complicated. Do you think they know about the fact that Jinshi is a prince?
Who knows? Although there was another thing with the pipe. Remember when apparently it was given to a god by a woman? So for all we know, that woman was most likely Suirei, because she was it was most likely Suirei.
Yeah.
Maomao thinks that it could have been Jinshi in disguise, but it's hard to say.
Yeah, but there's of course also like the guard who smacked give me a poison name.
Cyanide? or are you asking for a poison that's more relevant to Imperial, not China?
Okay, I was gonna say cyanide too, because that's the only one that came
smacked
to
the cyanide out of her. That was like he walloped her. That was.
I was gonna say oleander, maybe.
Oh yeah, oleander is the one.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try that again.
To knock the oleander out of her. Like, whew. But
that guy's dead.
Do not smell it.
Wait, that's how it works?
Yeah, it's like a totally normal looking flower. If you smell it, you're dead.
Yeah, and Maomao's response. What was it that one point was she's had that flower? It's like, oh, it's poison.
What? Yeah, give me that. What was it?
Vomit!
I didn't even get to feel the effects.
Yeah.
It's bad enough taking one little sniff of oleander, but taking a huge draw from it, like Johnny Fontaine, is something else entirely.
Yeah, taking a giant Tony Montana.
Tony Montana.
Yeah, Johnny Fontaine is the Godfather.
Him too, though, right?
When you said that, I was like, I don't remember that scene in The Godfather.
Yeah, it's just like maybe you're getting him confused with some other drug-addled human demon in human clothing in The Godfather.
I mean, I don't think Johnny Fontaine isn't a demon in human clothing.
He's just pathetic. Yeah, he's just
pathetic.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway, back to Lakan. So initially we thought he was like really creepy, and then we got his whole backstory, and I think that thing that he has where he can't distinguish between different people's faces, I think that's an actual thing,
that's an actual
thing. I
thing.
know there's another character who has something like that. I don't know if I can say specifically because the anime's still going, and I don't want to be like vague. So, Yeah, I'm just.
That anime.
Yeah,
I thought you were talking about the. I thought you were talking about Apothecary Diaries.
Yeah. I don't know anything else about Apothecary Diaries.
Yeah, but anyway, that's
Plus in season 1.
So initially, I thought that was like a pride thing or something that he has, like looking down on other people. And he actually keeps saying he actually keeps saying weird stuff like how I see other humans and just talking like the Pipe Lord or something.
Yeah.
The Pipe Lord's father from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. You'll get the backstory in that episode.
Yeah, although he sees other people as chess pieces. I mean, granted, that's because that was the only way he'd be able to actually cope and tell which was which. But that's also kind of nutty.
It's not great.
Yeah. Not great. Not great at all.
Yeah, and I was just wondering about that. And then of course the only people he saw who weren't chess pieces were Fengxian and Maomao. So just wondering, so like, is it different for like people who best him, or is it different for
family? I thought it was like because of family, or because of people that he actually cares about. Because he doesn't really care about anyone. Now that I think about it.
Well, there was his uncle though.
I mean, aside from his uncle.
And it deserves to be noted that when he was around Fengxian and Maomao, it seems like he was actually able to, well, temporarily at least, see other people's faces as opposed to them being obscured or replaced with tiles or stones.
Yeah, well,
it was a brief thing.
Well, when did that show up? I thought that Jinshi and Gaoshun was still tiles, and from his point of view.
I might be talking about the flashback here to when he first met Fengxian.
Oh wait, or are you talking about like the thing near the end of the episode when he met her, when he saw her again, and it went back, and it sort of went from the first person perspective on his part, where everyone had the tile piece, had the chess pieces faces, and then it snapped back to reality. Up there goes gravity to when he was. Talked to her, and then everything went back to normal, which was helpful, honestly, because I was starting to have trouble myself telling some of the people apart. I mean, I was relying on the subtitles at that point, so like so-and-so was talking. Okay, great. So
yeah, it was really weird seeing everyone. It makes you realize actually how important human faces are, because seeing everyone with those tiles as faces, like even what's her name, the lady who's in charge of the Verdigris House,
the madam.
The madam, yeah. Even with her, like when she was screaming, and obviously her face was still a tile. It was like very
disconcerting.
Yeah, they're very disconcerting. How you couldn't see, like, obviously very expressive woman.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because she's usually like very expressive and yells a lot, so you kind of need that.
Yeah, so basically, not having a face to go off of was a little disconcerting, not gonna lie.
Yeah,
jarring, you mean?
More than a little, yeah.
I remember with the last few episodes. So Lakan and Fengxian's story, that was
so good.
It was really good.
It was beautiful. I was in awe.
I remember that you said that you were getting that at that moment you were kind of a little more excited for that story than Maomao and Jinshi at that moment.
I felt like it was like, oh yeah, Jinshi is yearning for Maomao. Maomao isn't interested. It's like kind of at a standstill. But with this whole stuff with Lakan and Fengxian, like holy crap, the drama was just, it was up here, and hearing about the backstory and how he was gone for 3 years and she was waiting for him.
And the worst part is, it wasn't even his fault. It was his piece of crap father.
He
didn't know. He didn't know anything.
He thought he'd be gone for like 6 months.
He got Odysseus. He got the Odysseus treatment.
Yeah, he did get
except
Odysseus.
Except it didn't take him as long as Odysseus, thankfully. But it did take a sizable amount of time.
Enough time that she kind of Fengxian hated him because he never came back. Her heart was broken.
And she wrote letters.
She wrote so many letters, and he never saw them because he was gone for so long.
And she got syphilis.
And then she got syphilis because, remember, she wasn't bought out because she was pregnant.
Yeah, and that
because
realization.
of that, a courtesan who's pregnant is useless.
Yeah,
basically.
And worthless.
That's not how this works.
That's why she had like a bunch of customers, and then she contracted syphilis, and
she still worked.
She still had to work, and she did decide to have Maomao, and not kill her, which is great. But it's obvious that the mom was going a bit crazy.
Yeah, she even cut off. She cut off her finger, and then she cut off the tip of Maomao's finger.
Yeah,
and then she sent them to Lakan in the mail. I don't know how, but I think according to TV tropes, her sending those letters was. I think that was basically another way of how she basically was able to outsmart Lakan somehow. I can't remember how it sets in TV tropes though.
I thought it was like her cursing him.
Yeah, but she did curse him with that, and I just really loved the realization of when he realized that she was pregnant.
It was oh my god!
And was running through the rain to try to get back to her.
Yeah, his realization there, and then like the bring back how he was running to get her later.
Oh, that was so good.
It
Yeah.
was so good. That was peak.
Kind of.
Like honestly, it was
It kind of reminded
peak
me
cinema.
of Cowboy
It
Bebop,
was.
actually, with Faye. When Faye was trying to find out about her past and was running up to that place with the building, and it was going back and forth between her running in the present up that hill to her running up the hill as
Who?
Cowboy Bebop, with the
Oh, right,
her
Faye.
running up
That
the hill
was
as a kid. Insert that song, I guess, for that. Actually, I should see if there's an edit. That probably would work pretty well.
Oh, that song.
Yeah,
Oh,
that song.
Yeah,
The Kate
that
Bush one.
Yeah, Kate Bush. That's her name.
Oh, I forgot that was Kate Bush. Yeah, that probably would work. I'm a little sick of that song because of Stranger Things. But yeah,
Never
it's a
seen-
good
I've
one.
never watched the scene.
I haven't
Yeah, me
either.
neither.
but
I have.
I don't
it's
care
actually
to.
it's actually really good. It's really good.
That's nice.
But
Anyway,
unfortunately, we don't have that kind of time.
but
We don't have that kind of energy or motivation or love or anything.
but anyway, so if I remember correctly, I think Lakan was offered to buy out any courtesan that he wanted from the Verdigris House, and it was
Yeah.
actually Mei who was actually Fang Zhang's assistant back in the day. Who? Oh yeah, Tissa.
It's real quick. I wanted to say with how the Verdigris House, like the lady over it, and even the courtesans, they never told Lakan what happened to Fengshan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or how you pronounce her name? How do you pronounce it?
I think that's how you say it.
Yep, I
Yeah,
think you're
so-
pronouncing it correctly. Apologies if we're mispronouncing it.
Yeah, we're like, this is not intentional.
Yeah, our deepest apologies. We love this scene.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great show.
Yeah, so yeah, he wasn't told. So he was going to choose Mei because she's a lovely person and she deserves freedom.
Yeah, and he had he had a very nice conversations with her, and he genuinely liked her.
Yeah, and played the board games and stuff like that. Good times. And then, like, she obviously knew he would do this. So then she opened the door and he heard her singing.
Oh, so good.
It was so good.
And then he just started running, and the lady was like, "What the heck did you do that for?
Yeah.
I told you to do that."
That was great. Her
She did
voice,
that on-
though. Like, every time I hear her voice, I was just like,
It
know?
reminds me of your Baba.
Yeah, actually. But yeah, that scene was amazing, and he was running so fast, and it was so realistic with him like tripping over stuff and things
Yeah,
like that.
he's not athletic
he was in
either.
such a rush. Yeah, and also the long ropes he was wearing and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
But it was amazing the contrast with how he just seemed so slimy before.
So and creepy.
slimy, creepy, nonchalant, kind of cool.
Yeah, but yeah.
In some ways.
And just someone you cannot trust. Like, after all, we literally just saw him try to, get Maomao to live with him by playing chess. And also, a quick side note, one thing I really like about that is that he thought that they were playing 4D chess because he knew that Maomao was really smart. So there was absolutely no way that she could beat him because he's like very experienced. So I was wondering how they were going to handle that. But then she just did it by just rigged check. It was basically rigged checkers for her.
Yeah.
Like playing. It was like in that scene in The Princess Bride. Like basically,
Yeah.
how to beat someone playing 4D chess. Just play checkers.
Yeah, but
and also
also-
putting some Princess Bride poison.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, it wasn't poison. It was liquor. Because
No, but she made him think it was poison.
Because
Yeah, exactly.
Oh right, he doesn't drink.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But so that makes
Or
him
liquor.
Yeah,
Well,
so he was a lightweight.
Yeah, so she made him think that in 3 there was poison, and it was the kind of meds, the kind of poison where if you, is it?
3 sips and you're dead.
3 sips and you're dead, and that was just so clever.
Yeah, and she did it in a way where he knew that she knew that she would lose, and then Lakan let her win one so that she wouldn't have to drink the last one.
Mm-hmm. I
So-
really like that.
Yeah, me too. So like
He does
still,
care.
Yeah, he still cares. He's really slimy and really creepy, but he does care. And then after the one drink, he was out. So I keep thinking like, geez, you took out Master Lakan. How did that happen? Oh, it wasn't very hard. I spiked one of his drinks with liquor. Seriously? How many drinks did he take? Just one. Just one.
Yeah, and also that one part back in the day with what's her name, Fengxian
Yeah.
and Lakan, their hands touched, and then they realized it was love.
And that was all it took.
That was all it took, and I just thought that
It's the thunderbolt.
I did think it was really cute, because all it was is just their hands touched, and the intertwining of the fingers. I was just like, ah!
Yeah, but they never got to finish that game though.
They never finished the game, but Maomao exists now.
but now,
Okay, so, yeah.
Maomao's here.
But now we have Maomao, so that's cool.
What you mean to say is that they didn't finish the game, but they still won.
why do you have to say it like
Heck
that?
yeah!
That's
Yeah.
granted, that's probably the best way that you can
wins.
say.
Although, also, just quickly about the poison thing, about the liquor thing, I legitimately thought that she poisoned him.
I
me too.
actually thought,
Yeah.
I was like, wow, you got guts, Maomao.
You poisoned your own
poisoned your
dad?
own
That's
dad.
sick.
You're
I mean,
so cool, Maomao.
given her reaction to hearing his name, I wouldn't have put it past her to genuinely poison his drink.
Would you have? You say it
mean-
like you would have.
I was gonna say,
You had a look in your eye that was where you would have completely understood her intentions if she had poisoned her father.
well, you mean you can't poison him. He's a very high-ranking official. The emperor uses him in battles. If you kill him, then you're basically signing your own death warrant.
There's a title.
Not, no one can trace it back to you.
I mean, there are witnesses, and you're the poison. If you're the poison person,
yeah, there's a
people know.
word for that. You
He's
know
a
what it
poison
is?
checker.
What? What's the word?
Assassination.
Yeah.
I like that word.
So, Lakan and Fengxian's story is great, and the way it ended. Remember when? It was so beautiful. Remember when he finally saw her again, and it was crying, and then he said that she was the one that he wanted to buy out for freedom.
She's the one he wants.
And saying something like, "I'm not getting choked up. There's something in my throat." So anyway, and then he was saying
What's
that.
that wet stuff on your cheeks, Sip?
It's nothing. It's just it's from the ceiling.
The ceiling's dripping.
We have a couple leaks.
We have leaks in the ceiling.
It's 76 degrees outside.
Anyway,
And sunny.
it's from my hair. And he was basically saying that she's the most beautiful one there, and of course she had all the rashes from the
and
syphilis, and she was missing a finger, and she
Yeah.
looked horrible. And then in his eyes, she looked the same as she did when last time he saw her.
Yeah, the most beautiful woman in the world.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I love how that kind of parallels with how Jinshi sees Maomao.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
versus how she sees herself.
And of course, that goes back to with his condition, where he's unable to distinguish between different people's faces, and the
Yep.
fact that he's able to recognize her as she was back
Immediately.
then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's just it was just really
It's
good.
so good.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that makes me wonder though, in that scene, then we could see Mei and the old woman's faces.
Well-
Does that mean that he's able to see their faces now?
I think that's just I think that's just to be able to convey the emotions, because if it was from Lakan's point of view and they were tiles, that kind of would have underwhelmed the emotion from both Mei and the madam.
I know what you mean. It wouldn't have overwhelmed it or underwhelmed it for me, because that's how it was when Mei opened the door and stuff. And we were so used to seeing their heads as tiles from Lakan's point of view that we were like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's also a big moment for all the characters involved. So it's you kind of got to convey the emotions. I see what you mean, though. I kind of thought the same thing.
I mean, if it was actual chess and there was a person with a freaking horse head, then that would
so we're not watching Attack on Titan here.
Oh, right. That would have underwhelmed it a bit.
Wow.
So.
Yeah.
That-
They just
Ah,
roast-
crap! Now I'm
he just
picturing
roasted
it.
John.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what that
you're
was.
roasting Jean across. We're not even talking about Attack on Titan, and yet somehow you still find a way to be able to roast Jean for his horse face.
Yeah, we do it all the time. It's
Yeah,
hilarious.
that's true. That's true.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch.
All right, so we already talked about the Verdigris House and the palace courtesans
Yeah, we had
didn't
a long-winded conversation about that, so I think we're good on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we'll talk about our favorite mysteries. Or
See, I was going to say either. Yeah, you go ahead.
sorry.
I was going to say, like, you either talk about the different times, the different rules and things. I think did we already discuss that, or what do you guys think?
Yeah.
I think we did already discuss it.
So here's some things.
most part.
Women are undervalued.
Yeah.
Big
there's
time.
like if
Maomao got kidnapped and thrown in a sack because she
happens all
forgot to put freckles. She forgot to put on her fake freckles.
happens all the time.
If you aren't pretty, you're worthless and you're trash and you suck. If like to be a courtesan, you have to have big assets to your name.
That's a nice way of putting it.
Thank you. We enjoy finance in our house.
Yeah, and another thing is that women weren't allowed to read, which is why that great scene
right.
which he must met
Oh,
Jinshi.
right.
You with the freckles, stay here. You
Right,
with the
yeah.
freckles, stay here. Crap!
I think that was the first indication where it was like, oh, I'm gonna like this show.
Oh, did women like speaking of finances? Actually, when I said the assets thing, did women have dowries back then?
What's that mean?
Dowry is like what the woman brings into the marriage, finance and
okay.
material wise.
I believe that either the father would pay that, or if it's a royal thing, it's like the kingdom. I'm guessing.
Yeah, because back in the day, like the 1700s,
Oh,
stuff
like,
like that, if a woman got married, her dowry then belonged to her husband, and everything in her name belonged to him. And then if she left him, she had absolutely nothing. So I was just wondering if they had that in Imperial China, or
Oh, definitely.
like either they had that,
I
or
mean-
the woman like everything that like maybe she just didn't have anything except for her family name or something like that. But anyway, what was we talking about?
Well, it depends on what they did back in the
Before then.
Tang Dynasty.
how women were screwed over during ancient China.
So there was that, and also the eunuch thing. With no man was allowed to have any kind of urge around the emperor's women or any of the women around that palace area, and so because of that, like some of them were forced to work there, and then they were castrated, and that's just
Yeesh.
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
forgetting about
sickening.
I mean, logically, I get it. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah, but morally,
that's horrible.
Apparently, it was so that no bloodlines could be potentially created that could threaten the emperors.
right?
Of course.
Yep.
Of course.
Yeah, so basically, the emperor takes all the best looking girls for himself, and then like everyone else who like goes around them is like, okay, yeah, you guys can work with them. I just need one small favor.
So, yeah, it's all about
Okay,
power.
now that's just even. That's way to rub the
Now
salt in the
that's
wound.
just rude.
What way to rub the salt in the wound?
No, that's not what I meant. But
No.
yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Also, yes, the ancient Chinese had a dowry tradition where the
okay.
brides.
Try specifically asking about what it did in the Tang Dynasty, which is the time period upon which the Apothecary Diaries is placed.
Tang Dynasty. Boom.
Now I'm interested.
Yep, they had dowries as part of the traditional Chinese marriage customs, where a bride's family provided goods like clothing, jewelry, and household items to the new couple, serving as the bride's personal wealth and financial security. These dowries, along with betrothal gifts from the groom's family, were crucial for the financial and social standing of the marriage.
Yay! I remembered history.
Yeah, good job. You remembered history.
Yeah, I don't know if you would call that much of a huzzah, given just how the depressing reality and how that works, and how you explained how that sort of thing works.
Yeah, but this is why prenuptial agreements are important now.
Yeah,
That's probably why they were created, so that the dowry crap wouldn't happen anymore.
Yeah, probably.
But anyway, so another thing, like I really like how class and these customs back in the day
Yeah,
are a huge theme
There's a-
in Apothecary Diaries.
very clear hierarchy.
And honestly, the whole show, like if they were very, very upfront about the the dark parts of that time, we probably wouldn't watch it.
I mean,
honestly,
it was pretty upfront, like when that one.
even more like about some really, really dark things.
So if it was like lacking in like the more appealing bits of charm and comedy and very pretty art,
like it would probably be a bit of a dark anime, honestly.
yeah, it would be. Not to mention it.
Some serious crap. Like happens in that show.
How many babies die again?
And then we think about it,
Oh,
and we're
yeah.
like, oh.
Like that one girl that killed herself by jumping off of the wall at one
Exactly.
point, which was
Horrible.
which that ended up leading to Maomao thinking about the whole thing with death and all that, and thinking that if by the end of her service, by the end of her doing her job for these people, then
If she has to be executed in any way, she asks if she could just drink poison.
Yeah, so
I don't know what kind of poison because immunity. But
murder, killing oneself, prostitution, stuff with leash, with the stuff,
babies.
dead babies.
yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing. Pedophilia.
Oh right, I forgot.
Remember
Oh
with-
god, I forgot
yeah.
about that.
With-
The
Freaking
previous
girl.
emperor.
Yeah, with the previous emperor and Li Shu.
Yeah.
I really hope that girl's okay.
I love how everyone just all recoiled very loudly when we
'Cause
realized that.
Because Mama initially thought that Lady Aduo was the Emperor's previous concubine, which would make sense because she and the Emperor are around the same age, and the Emperor died recently, so that would make so logically it's still bad, but because that would mean he's marrying his dead father's previous concubine. But yeah, that would make sense.
Henry
Then you
VIII.
learn that it was the other way around,
And Li Shu was 9 years old when
actually she was 8.
Yeah, everybody hates the previous emperor.
Yeah, the
Oh,
previous
yeah,
emperor
he
sounds like
sucks.
he was
he's
just
the worst.
horrible.
Empress too.
I hope
Like
he
she
was
sounds
poisoned.
horrible.
I hope they were poisoned.
Yeah, because they are not of this world any longer.
What is it? The previous Empress Dowager or something like that? They keep
Yeah,
bringing her up.
dowager or whatever.
What is that?
It
She
seems like
sounds
every-
like a very cruel woman.
It seems like every bad thing that ever happened in the palace has something to do with that lady.
Dowager done did it.
The Dowager done did it. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a dog.
Okay, I kind of want. I want to
And
check this out.
we were also talking about that of course, thing with how Jinshi was nearly assassinated, which is just. I feel like people know whether or not he's the Emperor's son. Allegedly.
I'm not sure. They know that he's close to the emperor.
Yeah, so debating whether or not, if he what other reason they would think he's important enough to kill.
Yeah, I actually don't know if I think that obviously they make him older, with as a Jinshi with 24-year-old, so that it's clear. Oh, he's not the crown prince because
There's no
the crown
way.
prince was born so and so years ago, and underneath his age.
Yeah, exactly.
So I thought that was interesting. But yeah, I am wondering, and hasn't anyone else noticed how much he looked like Consort Ottawa?
And then there's also the whole thing with the purification rituals and why exactly he at his status would need one of those. I don't know why the purification rituals are done yet, but I suppose we'll find out.
Yeah,
it seems like something royalty would have to do, though.
What
Yeah.
does that even involve anyway? It seems like something you do before, it sounds like the kind of thing that you would read about in the Bible before they got to one of those sacrifices. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
But
Like-
yeah, I agree with you there. Yeah, it's probably different, since it's the
China.
China-esque.
It's not China.
Since it's not China. But yeah, I totally get what you're saying. And maybe that actually sparks a question as well. I'm so surprised Maomao hasn't realized that he's the crown prince yet. But
It's
that
all
makes-
Conjecture.
It's all conjecture. I do like how she waits until she's absolutely sure about something. But, in some cases, if you assume something, then it could very well be true. It's like we learned in Safe Sport.
Most obvious answer is most likely the correct one.
I've never found that to be true.
Another Gone Girl.
Yeah, it's Gone Girl reference.
So maybe some of the soldiers and the guards and some of the higher class people who know about how he's the crown prince.
Yeah, I initially thought probably Lakan. I mean, he was one who orchestrated a bunch of this stuff.
Yeah.
Suirei also had some quite a bit of a hand in it as well with her crazy.
That was wild.
That was-
A crazy corpse swap coffin.
That was crazy.
Gambit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
Corpse swap Amy Dunn Mulan walk out the front door. Hannibal Lecter. That's what it reminds me of as well.
And Ocean's 11 sounds like.
Yeah, and Ocean's 11. She's cramming 3 or 4 movies into this plot of hers.
And none
Wow.
of them exist yet.
So she's the mastermind behind this whole operation.
Yeah, so it's either her or Lakan, or maybe there's someone else. I don't know. It's like she's in on it. I don't know to what extent.
I do believe she's orchestrated most of it.
Yeah, I do love how Maomao now has a worthy foe.
Yeah, and like I said before, I remember you immediately said when Li Hua, these ladies mixed up, when Suirei was picking those flowers and was being all creepy with her pickaxe looking thing. When she said, the whole morning glories things, like, oh, hey, I think we got a foil character here. And it turns out you were right.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, so it's going to be really cool in the next season when we go over how they're kind of enemies.
See how that pans out.
They're totally enemies. She tried to kill Jinshi.
Maomao's spotted Moriarty.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sick.
We thought it was Lakan, but we
Because
thought
of
it was
because of the
Lakan
chest for one thing.
because of the chest. But he's more like Jinshi's rival, though. Now that I think about it,
That's true, yeah. And now Lakan is going to be going after Jinshi,
For
for another reason.
After about
Yeah.
6 or 8 months of spending time reconciling with his wife,
Also,
then he's going to come in. The honeymoon. But then, unfortunately, once the honeymoon is over, he's going to be like, okay, so I'm able to find the emptiness that I've been missing in my life for years.
Fill the emptiness.
I mean, I've managed
he found it a long time ago.
I've managed to fill the emptiness that has been in my life for for about 20 years. I'm still gonna get. That being said, I'm still gonna get you, Jinshi. Mark my words. I will find you and I will get you. It's one way or another.
So I think it was like after he said something about Jinshi getting too close to Maomao, and I think we were like, you know what? Maybe he's not a bad dad after all.
We kept kind of second guessing ourselves. We were like, oh, he's so creepy. Stay away from Maomao. And then it was like, he's kind of quirky. Kind of reminds me of Maomao, actually. Might not be so bad.
And then he would do something else. We're like, yeah, still creepy.
Yeah.
I love how we were just kind of flip-flopping with some of these characters. And they never did anything so bad that we would hate them forever.
Except for that previous emperor. Screw that guy.
Yeah.
The previous emperor was like, he crossed so many boundaries.
Yeah, of course he did. He doesn't have to
So
worry
many
about
lines.
boundaries. He's the emperor. He is the morning and evening star.
If he wants an 8-year-old consort, he'll get an 8-year-old consort.
That doesn't even. I don't even like the way that
Oh
sounds.
my gosh.
Sounds horrible. Okay.
Freaking not China.
Not China. Gosh darn it.
So,
Favorite scenes or favorite mysteries?
all right. So, the last thing we'll talk about, favorite mysteries.
Oh man,
There's so many, though.
I have one.
Go ahead.
Let's hear it.
You remember the one of the lady who looked like she was sleep dancing on top
Yeah,
of the
that
wall?
was
Yeah, I was
so
hoping you were
good.
gonna bring that up. Yeah.
Me and you had like big dumb smiles on our faces with that.
And what it actually was how in case anyone doesn't know, she made a fool out of herself in front of the emperor so he wouldn't touch her because she's in love with her childhood best friend who became a soldier. And I don't really remember why she was dancing on top of the wall.
It was so crazy, so that they would kick her out.
Like a crazy ghost lady.
Smart. So yeah, she did that to look crazy. She's like a wonderful dancer, but then she intentionally fell over so that the emperor wouldn't touch her because of that. Because who would marry a klutz?
She doesn't even walk. Yeah, she can't even walk straight. So who want to marry her?
Right.
So feigning insanity in order to get kicked out, isn't that
Works
kind of
every
like
time.
isn't that kind of like what happens in Catch-22?
That's what they try to do in Catch-22, but it never works.
So
Yeah,
this
that's
would be if it actually worked.
That's
Yeah.
because they expect
That's because-
literally nothing from these soldiers except to pick up a gun and get to work. Whereas for these consorts, they have like the expectations are like so sky high. You have to be like you would have to basically be inhuman in order to reach those levels, or you have to be like really committed. So if you screw up with one thing, then you either get beheaded or banished, which is part of the plan.
Rightly so.
Yeah.
And I think she made sure to line up for when that guy was coming back, so that they'll be able to get together after that.
Mm-hmm. And
it worked like a freaking charm. And again,
wait.
came picking this up, like, it's all conjecture.
Yeah. And also, when she saw her man, and I forget her name, but she could have been, like, one of the favorite consorts, because she's beautiful, she's, demure, and
Great dancer, like
is a wonderful dancer, so she could have been a favorite. But she intentionally made sure that she wasn't even a possibility, so that she can be pure, and so she can get her husband and stuff. And that part when they saw each other again, they were being very, very professional and stuff, and they walked to the carriage together. And as soon as the doors were closed, they hugged, and it was beautiful.
Oh, that was,
remember?
that was animated so
It was
wow.
so emotional, And oh man, I actually was like, oh, maybe love is worth it after all. Oh God, yeah, it was great, and I love, like, all of us. We were having the same kind of reaction, internally or externally, in Zip's case, and I could see it on our faces,
Yeah.
So I do like how we all felt the same way, and that was just a beautiful episode, and I loved it.
Yeah.
And I can't really get over it.
At our hearts, we're all just a bunch of saps.
We are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
Okay.
There's so many mysteries. I'm trying to think about. I'm going to go through Wikipedia.
I'd say my favorite mystery is the one where it's the one you guys were talking about, the one that it seems that Suirei orchestrated to kill Jinshi. And the fact that Maomao, she's been solving these mysteries over the course of the entire first season, and then managed to piece together all of those parts of the puzzle right before managing to realize that it's no longer just conjecture, and actually having to go out and save this person who she doesn't know is Jinshi, and just pushing him out of the way just to be safe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
It
went from a mystery to a freaking conspiracy.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised when that one guard just walloped her.
That's a little girl. What the heck, pal?
Yeah.
What did your parents teach you, huh?
They taught him to hit little girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is a really good one.
The hits are brutal.
Yeah.
Like when there are fights, you can feel it.
Yeah. I don't think. Yeah.
There have been a few
really any,
slaps. Like you could feel them though.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hey, that brings me to my favorite one is because I really like the one in the. Wait, were you gonna say something?
I was just going to say that I had to look up what conjecture means. It means an opinion or conclusion formed on the basis of incomplete information. So, yeah, despite the fact that Maomao technically did have incomplete information, the nature of this particular case and the possibility of this incident was way too serious to ignore. So then she ultimately chose to take action and prevent that from happening, which of course she was 100% in the right for doing so.
Yeah, definitely.
You were saying?
Yeah, I think my favorite would probably be the bit with when she was when Maomao had to help Lady Lihua with something, especially given how mainly associated Lady Lihua for the whole thing with when her baby died in the first episode, which really caught me off guard. I was like, oh God, her baby's dead.
What'd she help her with?
Yeesh. And then just helping her figure out, like find the source as to what happened. And given how she was, Li Hua was initially been shown to be pretty mean, honestly.
And standoffish.
And kind of cold.
I mean, her baby died. Her baby was sick.
Which made sense because she was under a truckload of stress, given the fact that with all this stuff with her baby.
Yeah, so it wasn't. They were both sick, and she was watching her baby deteriorate even faster than her because babies' nervous systems are still small and weak.
And not to mention that the ladies in waiting were putting that powder on both of them, which is making it even worse.
Right, and she had no idea what was going on. She just knew her baby was dying in front of her eyes. Like, I would be mean too.
And also, there's obviously there's obviously that, which is a totally fair reaction to a scenario like that. But there's also how literally everything leans for these consorts for them having babies and having heirs and that sort of thing. So that's the whole reason why they're around. So if they don't have a baby, or if the baby dies, then they would end up not only losing their purpose, but they might end up falling out of favor with the emperor and that sort of thing. So that stress compounded with the immense amount of stress there is already with her freaking baby dying right in front of her, and there's nothing that she can do about it, is
awful.
Yeesh.
Plus, I forgot that she had a boy. So
Yes,
that
the crown prince.
that makes it worse.
Yeah, could have been the crown prince.
And another thing is that Maomao mentioned how the powder ends up messing up your just behaviors and emotions. So the fact that Li Hua was
That's
feeling
God.
that she was,
Too?
but was
That's
feel
why-
that.
Those ladies in waiting.
That's why she was out of character.
Yeah, that's why she.
That
that's
makes more
another,
sense.
That's
Yeah.
another reason why she was out of character. And Li Hua was still taking the powder even up to the point where even after her baby was dead, and she was still completely out of character. And then she was sick and everything. So that's another layer to why she was behaving the way she was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those,
'cause
those ladies in waiting messed up.
Yeah, because I was thinking about it just now. I was like, instead of being mad, it does actually make more sense if she would just be distraught.
And if I remember correctly, I think it was in like the first or second episode when apparently both Lady Gyokyo and her daughter and Lady Li Hua,
Yeah,
the Lady Li Hua and her son were sick, and Maomao realized what was going on, which is why she took she tore a thing out of her skirt to be able to write messages to both Lady Gyokyo and Lady Li Hua. And she sent them through roses. Lady Gyokyo saw the thing on her rose and read it, and then she stopped doing the powder. Lady Li Hua, on the other hand, who was still being affected by the powder, didn't. So
And then her
basic-
baby died
her
the
baby
next day.
Her baby died the next day, and Lady Gyokyo survived. Which is just
But anyway-
And
devastating.
then realizing, with her actually reading it later and realizing how she could have saved herself and her baby. That's brutal.
That is brutal.
Anyway-
that does horrors to the psyche.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's probably my favorite one because of how you're able to piece together everything with that, and you're able to see that with Lady Li Hua. She isn't a mean person. That was just a bad first impression because of all of that, because of all of those compounding issues, and also Maomao laying down the law with those the mean girl ladies in waiting, and showing how they screwed up and very likely traumatizing all of them, especially the one who was in charge in the process. It was great to watch. It had some good catharsis.
Yeah.
That was deeply
and
satisfying.
just realized my favorite mystery also has the happiest ending.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I think that's why I like it so much.
Yeah, yeah.
Because all the other ones are just sad in some way.
It worked out with the thing I mentioned.
The one with the baby died?
Well, they found out what was up with that. They found out what was up with that, and hopefully, she'd be able to have another one.
Wait, is
Oh,
is
yeah.
she
That
still
new
capable
baby
of having?
will replace the old one.
Yes.
So heinous.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's a cold way of looking at it, of course.
For
but we should say,
shame,
but
Mac.
that's kind of how this unfortunate. But unfortunately, again, with all this royal crap, that's just how it works.
Good
No,
thing they're
it's
so
not.
expendable.
For this, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Me neither. But
There's the other one, of course, with the 3 sons.
Yeah, that's
oh,
what
yeah, that was really
whose father
heartwarming.
was murdered.
apparently, yeah, murdered through lead poisoning. And it was only after we saw the thing with what happened to Suirei where I realized that the attendant who was like, it was, remember when it panned up to show like the dad who was given something, the instructions on how to do that hanging thing, and then panned to show the assistant, and I was like, and then I was like, oh jeez, Suirei, she was the one who gave that guy the thing, so she was just a guy again. That's freaking terrifying. Not gonna lie.
Speaking of Anna Liebert shenanigans,
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry, Quincy. Go ahead.
So my favorite mystery was the tale of the three brothers.
that's a good.
The one I just brought up?
Yeah,
Yeah, I was
You're
about to,
welcome.
I was gonna say that was my favorite mystery.
That's a good one.
that's a good way to call it that. Yeah.
Yeah, the fact that the father took that time to bequeath his sons those seemingly unconnected assets that would take a keen eye to be able to spot a connection between. I just can't get enough of that. The fish. I mean, who would be able to see an anomaly between a fishbowl a shed, and a locked up chest that's bolted to the ground that can't be opened with any key and has measures to make sure that you can't pry it open by force either.
The 17-year-old apothecary from a brothel did it in 10 minutes.
Of course she did. That's because she's a genius.
And the fact that the shed itself is positioned in such a way where the sun shines through the window at a certain point of day, but then you have to put the fishbowl in front of the window and fill it with water, and then wait for the refracted light to hit the keyhole in the chest in order to get it open. I mean, who would be able to predict something like that?
Maybe he watched Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Who wouldn't predict that?
Yeah, I don't know. It seemed kind of obvious.
Yes,
to me.
come on, Quincy. Maybe you're just short-sighted.
I mean, my first thought would have been, oh, you probably have to break the fishbowl to.
Oh man, no.
God, that would be. Next thing you're funny, you're like, Then you just go outside to where like the concrete or something like that. You just drop it.
Oh, that would ruin everything.
That would ruin everything.
Yeah, I would have failed on step one. I'm like, oh, guess we were supposed to break.
That would have made it all for nothing.
So, do you still have that
Exactly.
fishbowl?
But what fishbowl?
Yeah.
You didn't,
So
you
anyway-
didn't break that fishbowl, right? Because that's like kind of the linchpin. Huh?
So none of the mysteries would be solved if I was isekai'd into that world and was replaced by with Maomao. Like if I was in Maomao's place, I would probably die somehow.
So like with the conspiracy, like
Honestly.
that's weird. Well, not too much. That's all I think
yeah.
about.
Well, I'm gonna bake bread. I'm gonna go bake bread and pie. I'll introduce not China to pie.
Yeah, well, technically, Mama introduced them to chocolate, but that's another story that we won't get into. Yeah,
I forgot.
let's see. I don't think I mentioned.
Okay, we'll get Now I can
see.
talk about that.
You guys took most of the ones I was gonna pick. Although one good one that comes to mind. I mean, first of all, I think my favorite was probably the thing with Lei Lihua. That's probably my favorite. But one that I'll pick.
unoriginal.
Hey, you shut up! One that I think I'll pick that's different from you guys. That was my second favorite was the thing with Lady Aduo's head lady in waiting.
Wait, let's see.
That was intense.
She was responsible for
yeesh.
her kid, another dead child,
Another dead puppy.
another one dead.
Yeah,
Another one.
I mean, granted, given they said that what they're supposed to do with the consorts, their whole job is, and the core politics that go with that and that sort of thing, that it makes sense, but it's still just so terrible that it catches me off guard every single time. He's like, oh, more dead babies.
Didn't she actually poison Empress Dowager's kid?
It's very confusing.
But that's actually what happened.
I think that's what happened. So like the Empress Dowager's kid was poisoned and her kid was okay, but she didn't. Lady Aduo, she didn't know that.
I guess not.
I don't know how she wouldn't know that Jinshi is her son because they look basically the same.
She probably does know.
How? Yeah,
she's a
Maybe
small
he
lady.
doesn't know.
Mother's
She's a small
intuition.
lady, but she's being let go. So she's like, well, God, well, he seems to be fine, and I get to leave this place, so we should be okay. And I think that at least it's something like that. And the fact that the links that lady went to cover it up was just.
And it was so tense. Like we were like, oh, she's gonna try to kill her.
Yeah, and even Mama thought that she was gonna try to kill her because the fact that first of all she kept glancing at that cleaver in the background, and later on it turned out Mama wore different
a bulletproof vest, basically.
Yeah, wore like a stab-proof vest. Makes like, well, I'm glad this didn't have to come in handy.
Yeah.
And then I keep wondering, what the heck happened in the Verdigris House, Mama?
Well, it's like what I said. The clientele with those specific places.
Maybe if the customers get reckless or feel like they've been stiffed somehow.
rowdy.
Yeah, they're not exactly of high,
She has
standing.
almost apparently, according to the light novel, she was almost assaulted one time by one guy, but she was able to get out of it because he put marks on her arm to make it look like she had leprosy.
That's
Whoa.
that's clever.
Yeah, it was the same thing that she
Jeez.
did. Remember when she met was it the Crystal Pavilion when the lady was making fun of her and one slapped her in the face for no reason, and she was like, Master Jinshi took me in because even when no one else would, and she got around that because she's making them feel guilty by making them all think she had leprosy.
Right. They
Like-
just they just slapped a girl with leprosy.
So he kept a small poor girl with leprosy. The only one who wasn't buying it was Suirei.
Yeah, the only
which I'm only just put together right now because she probably knew exactly what she was doing.
Most likely.
If you not only basically what you're saying is that the only thing that's going to be feeling more unclean than your hands is your moral standing, because you're just going to feel like you're a horrible person, which you are.
Yeah. So anyway, Maomao basically figuring everything out and doing all that deduction, and the ladies figuring out that she was got after all of her covering it up was just really interesting to see.
What did she feed the baby again?
Honey, because she thought that she would like it. Because she thought the baby would like it. And while that's like a completely innocent mistake to make, it's just
that's why
you gotta talk to a doctor or something about everything before you give your baby something to eat.
She was feeding that to the baby like right in front of Aruo.
Yeah, but Aruo knew about it,
and
because
she knew about it, and it was so awful.
It wasn't it was a complete freak act. It was a complete accident. But then the thing that the lady to go to, she would, rather than letting Aruo take the blame because she knew it, the lady was rather die executed, the gallows.
She was executed too.
Yeah, so like, whoa, they freaking killed her. She got the noose. Just
was it the news?
They said the gallows. Yeah,
right. And whenever we heard about someone who dies off screen, we're just like, oh crap,
this is real.
Yeah, it's like the Ymir, Freckles Ymir, and Attack on Titan.
It's also real now.
We're just like, oh crap, Ymir is dead. Oh Lord!
Not just spoilers for Attack on Titan, by the way.
Yeah, I think it's a little too late for that.
I should have prefaced that.
Anyway, not only did she die, but apparently I think they executed her whole family too, as well as anyone that worked with her.
No, I don't think they executed their family. They think what they did do was make it absolutely impossible for them to get a job. So basically, just blacklisted them.
It's like they did Terry Benedict stuff. So not only did they kill her for being part of the whole conspiracy, but they shut down a silk business that was owned by her. That silk business that was owned by her brother, and went after they went after the sake store that was done.
The brother-in-law's sake store. Yeah, I heard.
Yeah. So not only will they get you, but they'll get you and everyone who's ever known you.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that also basically was kind of a reality check for Maomao, basically, where she had to realize she was in a very rare situation for someone of her standing, but it was also very, very precarious.
And and in the eyes of these people, her superiors, she's expendable.
Why? Because she's a poison checker?
Yeah.
Because she's more so because she's a peasant, which is how making herself very, very integral to the court will most likely be.
That will keep her alive.
That will will really come in handy. Yeah. Because she's like a genius. She's like behind all these things she's like behind everything having to do with the court. And then after she's doing these things with the poison checking and solving these mysteries left, right, and center, she's basically the only reason. She and Jinshi are the only reason why this place is functioning at all.
Yeah.
And her
she's like magic.
Unknowingly, for her relationship with Jinshi is one of the best things that could have happened, because she will stay alive.
Yeah, exactly.
No one can kill her right now. Like, she is impervious to death when she's around Jinshi.
Because Jinshi's good at his job, she's good at her job. So there's no reason the emperor should, get rid of them. So as long as she keeps doing what she's doing, she'll be able to keep going higher and higher. And I'm really looking forward to how that's gonna happen, because I swear she could be the most powerful person in the capital with her skills,
literally.
And with, like you said, Jinshi on her side, it's
power couple. They're unstoppable.
It's power couple, and one of them doesn't even know it.
Yeah,
I think she figured it out because she did tease Jinshi.
She thinks that they're a powerful couple of people.
Yeah. Well, for her,
not a power couple.
Well, for her, it's more of like a trio. It's her, Jinshi, and Poison. But the greatest of these is her first love, of Poison. So.
Ouch.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Gaoshun's there too, actually.
Oh, and actually, okay, scratch that 4.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Also, just saying one little bit of character development I really like at the last episode is how obviously Maomao knows that Jinshi likes her because he's been showing these signs since day one. And you remember with
she teased him, didn't
I need
she?
to tell you something. I still need to get that ox piece, or
It's obviously
and then she
teasing
did
him.
this stupid little laugh, and then when Jinshi is finally figuring out how to handle her, headbutted her,
That was great.
and I really like how, and I think I actually had to go back to like when she did like a little gasp after like I was like, wait, I gotta go back. That
was
was adorable. That
adorable.
was adorable.
Yeah.
It was so cute. I love their dynamic.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I love how they're finally figuring out how to handle each other.
It's great.
Yeah, actually, on that topic, one thing that I really like is how initially with the hierarchy, it seems to be pretty clear because Jinshi's the Jinshi's the boss, and
He's the boss man.
Yeah, and Mao's the lowly, and Mao's the lowly peasant, and that sort of thing. But as the whole series goes on, it goes to show that they're more equals, with a whole bunch of instances of Maomao being kind of above Jinshi and this sort of thing, like being placed in the points where she's kind of above him in the hierarchy, whether it's with the chemistry stuff or the makeup, that sort of thing. So now they're kind of equals, which I really like. Not on paper, they're not equals on paper, but in terms of like how the work environment works. Yeah, that's what they are.
Also, Mao's best friend is very cute.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I really like how like so her best friend's like adorable. I was really happy to see her back.
What's her name again?
I don't know.
How do you say her name? It begins with an X, I think.
Yeah, she's like
An
got her
X.
ear to a good chunk of the hot goss that
Yeah.
goes on in the rear palace.
Yeah.
I'm surprised by how much she knows. Like, how does she know all of this?
And she sounds kind of whiny. Mao.
Yeah, it's funny though. The whiny. It's funny the whiny voice, like the way she talks is. I thought it would starts to be annoying, but it's actually like really cute.
It is.
Yeah.
Wait, can you say
Xiaolan.
you're the rumor, right?
Xiaolan.
In her voice.
You heard Mao. You heard the rumor, right? Like that.
Nice.
It feels like we haven't seen each other in forever.
I think the fact that
She's very cute.
Yeah.
Like for her eyes, she usually looks, happy or kind of nervous, which
Yeah.
helps.
And she's kind of twitchy. It's adorable.
Yeah.
And she has her ears to the streets.
So yeah, I hope she shows up. I hope she shows up more in season 2.
Yeah, same here. Because she's got her ears to the streets, so that that's gotta help.
Oh yeah.
that
Oh
definitely
yeah.
helps.
Also, the Blue Roses thing was very pretty.
Yes.
Yes,
like
the
that a lot.
Alice in Wonderland gambit. Well,
Just
kind of.
throwing that out there was very pretty. And
Yeah.
very good conspiracy of Mao's.
Yeah.
You know,
I
with the ink or the dye or whatever it was.
Die.
die.
Okay.
So everyone else was saying DYE, and I just did DIE.
Okay, I know where I'm unwanted.
No, wait.
All right. So
I think
You
it
think
covers
good?
everything. Yeah.
no, you good. Just it was the other
Yeah,
dye.
yeah,
the other
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
dye color. You know what I'm saying? It's good. You good.
Yeah, poison and
Yeah,
all.
it's poison.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, we got that settled.
All right. Okay. Good discussion.
Yeah,
I think
that
we're
was
good.
fun. Yeah, fun watch.
Yeah.
You can't wait for season 2.
Indeed.
We'll be back for season 2, and we'll probably talk about Fear
Sometime
really soon as
in
well.
the future.
Oh, big time.
yes. We will talk about Freerin
Yeah.
after we finish. How many seasons are there?
There's one season so far. The next season's going to be released next
53
January.
episodes?
That's just how it is in Hulu. There's probably less than that because of the dubs.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So that
If
would
there
mean
were
there's
53
around
Well,
26
if there
episodes.
were
Okay.
if there were
Nice-
53
nice
episodes,
size.
I've got no problem.
I would be totally fine with that.
yeah, same. I can't wait for that episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, well, I'll see you guys next time.
See
All right.
you in
Yeah.
the future.
All right. See ya. Yeah.
Bye.
Check your
Bye.
poisons.
Welcome to the preview. By the time I'm recording this, season 2 has been released. However, we haven't been able to watch it yet due to it not being available. We don't have Crunchyroll, so our access to anime isn't as easy as it might be to some. Anyway, next time we're flying into the beloved yet mysterious world of Frieren, Beyond Journey's End, in which an elven mage, once part of a band of heroes who saved the world from the Demon King, travels with her apprentice and a warrior they picked up along the way to fulfill Frieren's last wishes from her former companions. Along the way, Frieren discovers the true meaning of life and relationships. At least watch episode 1 before listening to our podcast so you have a good idea of the anime. Don't forget to like the episode, this episode that is, in 4G1G, so the algorithm knows what's up. Subscribe if you're from YouTube, and follow on Apple, Spotify, and anywhere else you listen from. Now, until next time, we hope we made your day better and that you have a stellar weekend. Bye!